Welcome everyone. Welcome once again to the Sports Friends podcast. I'm your host Levon, and we're back here on a Friday. And once we're here, you know that we're here to discuss some EPL, some predictions, and all those good stuff that you guys really want to see. And already, big up yourself, Dale Francis. Big up Pepe Paul. We had loved if last weekend would have been better for you, but hey, no need to worry, man. We're here once again, man. And guys, if you haven't checked it out as yet, you can go back and watch the interview with Alex Thomas that I did last evening. It's right there. Views are climbing, so you can go back and check that. But without further ado, let me just introduce the gentleman as always and call him the voice of the voiceless, the voice of reason, the voice of opinion, man himself, Kems Ogon.
Yes, sir.
That is it, man. And then another man that he made his debut the other day, but for some reason he missed out on the first week of prediction. But guess what? He's back here once again, man. They are around themselves, the fact checker. This man goes by many accolades, man. I call him the teacher. I call him the doctor. Talking about none other than Devin.
Like,
I got boss.
if you get to call him Biggs.
Pepe, what kind of style that man? Pepe, what going? Hope saying a sick current thing that now. Pepe said take some DPH and drop asleep last week in the middle of the show. Jaja. I'll give us a nice picks in the boss. Gio, big up yourself, same way, bro. But a very interesting weekend lies ahead. London Derby and all those stuff. And the Red Devils trying not to be stung by the bees once again. But that's not where we're going to start. We're going to start with Aston Villa versus Everton. And it's Steven Gerrard versus Frank Lampard. And Frank Lampard getting in one and two signings now. They confirmed Amadou Onana since week, and they also signed Connor Cody. They're still after forward because Calvert Lewin down injured, and that man is more interested in modeling than actually playing football right now. So they really need a striker. So I look at this one, and Kim said it the other day that no Mings equals no wins. No, where Gerard came out and said a lot of stuff about Mings himself that he has to earn back his spot in the team and all those things. So I look at this one, Kim. So, first off, what's your take on what Gerard said about Mings?
What did he say?
Said that he has to earn his spot back in the team. Like there's no easy way back into the team because it seems like something went down. That is what I gather from what he has said. So what say you?
And I think the something that quote unquote went down, I think it was a result of losing the captaincy. Listen, we're all humans, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever been a captain for a team before, but getting that stripped away from you, it take a hit to your ego, right? It's a big hit to your ego, especially you've been captain for such a long time. And again, coming off the season that he had, and as I said, he was a top six, and I'm not fluffing. He was a top six centre back last season once Steven Gerrard stepped in. So I think he was blindsided by the move. But not only did you remove the man from the captaincy, then you remove him directly from, the whole team. So looking at that, obviously, I'm sure there were some tempers that were flared. But again, we have to remain professional, and Steven Gerrard is right. If you're out of the team, and if you deserve that, if you believe that you deserve to be in the team, you have to work your way back in the team, right? Aston Villa, I think they conceded two goals last week via set pieces. When Mings was there, none of those foolishness was happening. So again, you look at it, and Mings have to prove himself in training. He has a training every single time. Something like that means okay. Yeah, so he have to prove himself every single time he's in training to get in the team. I don't know Gerard as an unfair person. Obviously I don't know him personally, but what he has displayed seems to be a very impartial guy. And so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If Mings is quote unquote good enough for him, then I'm sure he'll be back in the team.
All right. In terms of the game itself, Everton against Aston Villa. What scoreline you have before I get to Devin?
All right. So, I've been looking into what you said, what we were talking about last week when you said, hey, should Steven Gerrard be 33%, win percentage, should he be on the hot seat? And I take it a little bit further to do a little bit more research. Out of his last 12 Premier League games, he has only won two. All right. that only two Premier League games he has won out of his last 12. You know, I know we're dating him back from last season, but that's not good enough. That's simply not good enough. And again, if you want to be a manager, if you're going to ask your club to spend as much money as they had, you know, you have to do a better job. And I know wins and losses oftentimes is not due to the manager fault, but again, you know, it's easier to get rid of one person than it is to get rid of 15 or 20 or 22, right? So he has to be very careful. Now, going up against Lampard, we know the struggles that Everton is having. You already outlined the fact that they are indeed getting in some new players, but again, Calvin Lewin out. I hear that Mina having some injury as well. I think he has some knock. I don't know if he's going to be available tomorrow. So there's a lot of things going on, you know, with Lampard. So if Gerrard is going to get a W, it should be this one at home. Right? It should be this one at home. It should be no excuses. Everton is battling for their lives as early as the season is. And I'm going with a Aston Villa win. Again, you better put Mings in there because I might change my mind. But I'm going for a Aston Villa 2-1 victory over Everton.
All right. You heard what Kim said, Devin. And as a better, where do you suggest people if they're going to wager in this game? What is the best option you would suggest to them to wager in?
Well, like it's early in the season, and it seems like both teams are already trying to avoid relegation, and it's so early. So, with that in mind, you know the motivation is for them to get a win. So I'm looking for like, over 1.5 goals, at least 2 goals to be scored in this match. As for the prediction, I have a 2-1. I have a 2-1. Definitely a Villa win. Villa is at home. They have to maximize being at home. And as Kem said, that I look at some stats too. Everton, I think they are one win in the last 5, dating back to the Premier League last year. Villa has lost their last 5, but even though they lost their last 5, you're at home, and Everton, just got on to what Kim said. I see where they have like some like Godfrey Davis. I mean, Mina is also on the injured. There are a lot of injured people on the injured list, and you're at home. You have to maximize. It just goes in any sport, basketball, soccer, anything. When you're at home, you have to defend your home turf, and it's the best way to get a win over another struggling side in Everton. So if I would be betting, I would go over 1.5 with both teams needing a win.
All right, boss. Say no more. So actual ladder prediction, and I mean, as I said, Len Bailey never played too bad last week, and he hasn't looked bad since preseason. So let us see if he'll keep on growing in stature and also scoring time. Because again, Villa needs these guys to perform. All these top players, Coutinho need to pull his weight. Coutinho is the top man there, needs to step up and really prove his worth. So they can't be dependent on Ollie Watkins and Danny Hings to find the goals. Coutinho, you need to create more.
Yeah,
But
just to add to that Coutinho thing, you need because he's a favorite of the coach,
correct.
and so he has to produce more. And just like with Mings, there's no way Mings. I won't get into the captaincy debate like with Kemps, but there's no way that man should not be starting in that team. Captaincy thing, I don't have enough knowledge about that or whatever as a captain, but there's no way he should not be starting in that team. That's all I can say.
Agreed, boss.
Yeah.
And as the Tyrese done there saying, check and feed people need to show more support on a football time and channel. Tyrese, no need to go out and hunt the football people. Them stop telling track people off. The track people then galvanize each other and come on the track and field show. So you guys need to do the same for football. But let's move on to the next one. And the next game that we're going to talk about is Southampton against Leeds. So last weekend, Southampton got their ASS kicked as expected against Tottenham. Leeds got a well-deserved win against Wolves. And I mean, as I said, when I look at it, those last weekend were 3 very important points in terms of relegation battle, and they got 3 good points. They set themselves in good stead. They look at this one, Kims, and I think Devin said it. Yeah, Devin said that he expected Southampton to go down. So we'll look at this one and all that is around it and all of those stuff. I must start with you, Devin. When I look at this game, Southampton just got beaten up. No, they're taking on a Leeds team who just won their first game of the season.
Right?
Where would you go in this one?
Yeah, I think these two teams have them to go down. You know, I both of them to go down. But knowing Leeds from last year and watching Leeds play, they always play open football, always scoring a lot of goals. You know, and at some point, I remember there was I don't remember which season it was. They were, for the first 5 to 10 games, they were right up there at the top of the table. They were just scoring goals. So once I see them playing, I expect like goals in that match. So I'm predicting a 2-2 draw. And part of it being a 2-2 draw is because earlier in that first show, I think I have these two teams to go down. So I don't want him to pick up no points, no significant points from this game. So I'm looking for I'm predicting a draw, and I'm thinking gonna be like a 2-2 draw.
All right, Kems, what say you?
I tell you this. You said something earlier. Pass. Getting 3 points in game number 1 has no benefit when it comes down to game 35. Absolutely none. Because I tell you, there's going to be.
You're joking.
Yes,
No,
You are joking.
I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
There's going to be just like with last season. There's going to be Everton. Remember, you know, when Everton started out, you know, Everton was rocking the boat all the way up top, right? But again, when it comes down to those last games, game 34, game 35, game 36, when you're going to play against those teams that you're battling, lose them games and tell me, say, oh, yeah, remember we won game number 1, so I'm going to use those points from game number 1. Absolutely not. It is going to come down to the critical moments between game 33 and game 38. Also, let us not forget that this is a World Cup year. There's 16 games before the World Cup. There's 22 games after. A lot of things can happen. And I think Pep Guardiola said it best, right? And he said, you can't win the league before the World Cup, but you certainly can lose it, right? So now I'm looking at this Leeds team.
No. Hold on. Repeat what I just said.
What Pep, this is not what me say. What Pep say.
Yeah, but you're drawing for it as a reference point, so
yes,
it's
so
your
Pep
thoughts
is
as well,
saying,
so come on.
Yeah, so Pep is saying that you cannot win the league before the World Cup, but you certainly can lose it.
So you realize that in essence, it's contradictory to what you were saying earlier, because you said that Leeds 3 points right now don't really matter. So why is it that if a team drop points right now, they can lose the league before the World Cup? Think back about what you just said, and remember, Dimo himself will probably chime in at some point and also tell you that the season that they lost the league by a point, if it wasn't from around September to December where they dropped points in a couple of games, they would have won the league. So what do you mean by that? Every point.
Never. But again, that's false equivalence, right? Because what it is that, remember, you know, Pep knows that it's going to be probably, I know it's a 2-horse race, right? It's a 2-horse race. So you going before the World Cup now, if you are, let's say, for example, 12 points behind Liverpool after the World Cup, and then anything can happen within that World Cup period, and you come after the World Cup to try and quote-unquote catch up now, then it probably be a little bit too late. What you mentioned, and Dima will also tell you, when freaking Liverpool played against Manchester City in that game, had Liverpool just beat Manchester City, then they would have won the league. So again, it's a lot of ifs and buts and maybes, but we'll talk about that when Dima gets a chance to talk. What I'm saying about this Leeds team, I don't think this Leeds team is any good. That's just me personally. I don't think Southampton is any good neither. So it's against two teams, and none of them are good. What I'll say about Southampton is that they have lost 6 of their last 7 games, dating from last season, right? So they're under quote-unquote losing streak, as you call it, right? But when I look at them, I look at a James Ward-Prowse, and then I look at Leeds, and I look at that injury list, and I know Demo said, Brentford looking good. But again, I won't make one game trick me. I won't make one game trick me either way. So I won't make one game trick me, say, yeah, Leeds is good. And I won't make one game trick me, say, Southampton is bad. No, so I'm looking at it, and I'm giving Southampton the win. 2-1 tomorrow.
Well, I have no problem with that. Last weekend, they told me Wolves would have beat them as well, so no problem. But welcome, Demo. Welcome, bro.
Big up.
Right now.
Say that again?
I'm hoping that you're good and out of the weather right now.
Yeah, I'm about 85%. I've got missed 2 crucial games over the weekend in the cricket league, but that's there you go. What would they know? Leeds and Southampton?
Yeah.
And do you want the same thing about Kem's statement earlier?
Yeah, but I don't know what to say. I think that listen, every team, well, teams who are challenging for the title, everybody can look back at a game and say, if we did do this, if we did. It's basically swings and roundabout. Like, if we did beat City, we would have win the league. All right, sure. But if we never beat City and we had beaten Leicester, where beat we, and Salah missed the penalty and then missed the rebound, I mean, we could have win the league because we lost by 1 point. Like, you just go through your whole season, you can nitpick and say which game you should have win, which game you shouldn't draw.
True.
Yeah, it's basically swings and roundabouts. So just if buts and maybes. I can't say which game will lose the league or which game will never lose the league. City can say, listen, if we never draw against Crystal Palace or lose to Southampton or whatever, we'd win the league from February or whatever. I just saw football go. For the Southampton game, who is the home team? Because that's
Southampton.
basically how I'm gonna make my decision. Oh, Southampton. Southampton. Listen, it's so early in the season, and like him say, I know, we were saying Leeds look good and Bamford look good. Aronson when he came on looked good. It's just one game, and so I probably need about 5-6 games before we can truly measure where teams are basically at. So I'm just going to go with home advantage right now, and I'm gonna give Southampton the nod versus Leeds in this game, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Southampton just because they're at home. So don't put this pan on a ticket or whatever. This is just a biased home advantage thing because we don't really have much to work with. We can't use the one game with Southampton play against Spurs because Spurs are tied to challengers. So, I'm gonna go 2-1 Southampton.
I think I'm inclined to agree with Devin. I'm going for a draw in this game. Probably a high scoring draw, probably a dull nil draw. Who knows? But I'm going for a draw in this one. Um, Next one we're going to look at is Arsenal against Leicester City. Arsenal did look good last weekend, played some good football. Leicester, the only signing Leicester's made so far in this transfer window is Alex Smith is, and I mean that guy was when he was in the Premier League, he was pretty good for a relegated team in Cardiff. But since then, he has been up and down all around, and that is the only player that they have snapped up so far. And question marks over the head of Wesley Fofana and James Madison and all those guys because teams want them. So probably their mind might be swayed right now, but Brendan Rodgers sucks for him right now. But otherwise from that, I must start with you this time, Demo. So Arsenal looking good, looking pretty. Why you see this one going?
Boy, if we go by Arsenal fans, they're not going to be losing a lot, a lot of games this season, and they're challenging for the title as well. To be fair to them, they look good. They look good from pre-season leading up to this. Jesus, even though he didn't score on match day one, he was a live wire. And Leicester, on the other hand, they blew a 2-goal lead to Brentford. Um, so I mean, like I said, the whole Casper Speichel thing leaving as the captain and the top goalkeeper that he is to me still not make no sense. I mean, it makes sense because we know Brendan Rodgers, but it not make no sense from a footballing point of view. And I think that's a big blow for them. I'm going to go Arsenal to win very comfortably, actually. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal.
All right, not been paying attention to commenters, so I say Adrian saying that Arsenal to win 4-1, Terry saying 4-2, Jermaine Watson saying 3-0. Kems, what say you?
This is a gross premature ejaculation I keep talking about, right? And this is why Arsenal fans always end up getting disappointed because they play a good game. As Dimo said, they were playing well in preseason. Jesus was definitely alive. That's why so many persons went and pick him and triple captain him for the first week at FPL, and it never worked out. So what I'll say is this: when I
Boy.
look at these two teams have a different kind of history, recent history. Because I was reading and they were talking about Yuri Tillman, how Arsenal wanted him and Leicester was paying hardball, but no, Leicester lowered that price now to around 25 million, and Arsenal still thinks it
Well,
because
they didn't really lower it still. It's his release
what's it now?
clause.
Oh,
He
yeah,
only has 1 year remaining on his contract,
yeah,
so they can't demand anymore.
yeah. So that's the thing, and they were saying that it shows that he's not going to resign. So I think a game like this, it might have a lot of different storylines within it. But I'm looking at this, and obviously we know Brendan Rodgers, we know his set piece, so he's always disappointing, can't keep a lead, all of that. But for some strange reason, I think this is going to be a draw game, right? And again, I don't have enough intel right now because again, it's just one game. And I have used last season because if I use last season, I'm gonna pick Arsenal for it about 4, right? But looking at this, I'm saying, I'm looking at a Jamie Vardy, and he's as much as he never scored last week. That man still got the burners on. That man will run from now till next year. And I'm looking and I'm saying, that Arsenal defense. I think Jamie Vardy can get behind him a little bit. So I'm going for a 2-all draw. I'm going for a 2-all draw in this one. I think Leicester will have the lead going down, and Arsenal come and equalize. So I'm going a 2-all draw.
All right, so Devin, I heard what Kim just said, and again, Arsenal would love for themselves to have a midfield battle with quality players. So, do you think that this is a match where Yuri Tillemans will showcase himself? Because remember, at one point, this guy was even linked to your team, Real Madrid. So,
Yeah.
do you think that's a match for him to showcase what he can actually do to them? So, hey, come and get me.
Oh, definitely. And I think Arsenal going to create more opportunities, and they have to create more opportunities from the previous game. Because, all right, even though I'm predicting an Arsenal winning, where I can see where Kim was going with the 2-2 draw. When I watch a game against Crystal, right? They got an own goal as their second goal. The first goal, Jesus won the corner, they took the corner. Yo, that guy, when the ball came over, that guy and got alone, man, Jesus alone was out there, and he make a header inside the box, and then the guy scored. The other guy, I don't remember who was the goal scorer, but that was just some awful defending by Crystal Palace. I mean,
Martinelli scored.
right, Martinez scored, but before he scored, the header, the cross came in. I think it was the header, and then it was headed to him, and then he scored. But the guy was by himself. So I see where you would not, even with some of the worst teams, you won't get that awful defense. That was like some schoolboy defending. I would still like to see Arsenal making some more opportunities. So like you're saying, that in the midfield, I think this game they're gonna create some more opportunities and they're gonna score more. And I would like to see also, this is Saka. Well, I'm not gonna make this comparison to be say, okay, he's in the same level as like say a Trent. This when Saka come down, I would like to see at least 7 out of 10 times some of those crosses are some good decisions make. All right, it's like you will listen to like a
Boss, he could use a next name, brother.
Right. No, all right.
Use a
I would
different
like to see
name.
more some consistency, man. All right.
Yeah.
You want to listen to some dancehall song or some rap song, and then in a one verse, a man come with a lyrics where you quote it, and then the next one is like some nursery rhymes. The next verse is like some nursery rhymes. I saw Saka come down. One time he make some brilliant play, and the next time he come down. Yeah, what kind of decision is that? So I would like to see some more consistency from him. He was one who made the good cross in the box where the defense is like didn't know what to do and got a own goal. So all that being said, I'm going for a 3-1 win over Leicester. I think they're gonna get it right, and Jesus is gonna score tomorrow.
Is
I
Arsenal
agree.
the home team?
Yeah.
Arsenal's the
They are-
home team? Oh, Lord.
Yes.
I plug in for Leicester for 3-1.
Right, and here's Michelle. Michelle saying that Leicester can't be trusted. If Arsenal lose this, it would be a big back down to hurt moment.
It will be a big Arsenal moment.
Well, technically, you're right, and I would love for that because them fans are get too noisy right now. The next game that we're going to look at is Brighton against Newcastle. It was a bright day last week for Brighton, and Newcastle they also played a good game against Nottingham. But as people would say, it's just Nottingham. But this will be a true test for Brighton, and in this game we have 2 of the best English managers there is in the game right now in Graham Potter and Eddie also. Both of them coming up against each other, and I'm so looking forward to see the midfield battle between Moises Caicedo and Bruno Guimaraes. So we'll look at this one. I'm gonna start with Kim's and this one. Look at Brighton and Newcastle. Brighton themselves, again, they started this season with Danny Welbeck. As I mentioned, they have a striker, Dennis Undavi. Didn't came on last week against United, but they have signed him fully now, so he's there. But you look at these 2 teams, and I know for a fact that Danny Welbeck won't buy up Fabian Shearer nor Dan Burn. So when you look at that game tomorrow, how is it going?
Well, I'll tell you this. Out of 38 games in the EPL season, Danny Welbeck will give you two great games, two excellent games, and that's against Manchester United. I promise you, he is prime Ronaldo versus Manchester United. So you know those two games. But when looking at this game, boy, listen, I watched Newcastle, and while Newcastle dominated the game against Nottingham, they only managed 2 goals. I think they had almost 20 odd shots on target. I don't know, 20 odd shots overall, and thing. They dominated the game. But the finished product was a little bit lacking, right? And I'm looking at Brighton. One thing that we have always accused Brighton for, well, they had a lot of Victoria's Secrets about them last season. Obviously, this season they played against Manchester United. That was an easy 3 points for them. So, now going up against Newcastle, a team that is well coached. I think, as you said, both teams, great managers, both teams are well coached, both teams know what they want to do, both teams have an identity, right? And both teams are not going to stray away from such identity. I'm looking at this, I think it's a tight battled game. I think obviously you mentioned the midfield. I think that is where the game will be lost or won. But I think it's going to be a draw, right? I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw for this game. That's what I have.
Sweet pick. Devin.
All right, so I'm going with a Brighton 2-1 win. No, not Brighton, Newcastle. Sorry, I'm a big Newcastle fan. I'm going to Newcastle.
What?
Yeah. I'm a big Newcastle.
Welcome on board, boss. Welcome.
But wait. So you're making this pick as a fan or as an analyst?
Both.
No, because you must say I pick Newcastle because he's a big Newcastle fan.
Yeah,
so
I'm a big Newcastle fan.
When since he became a big Newcastle fan?
Since last season.
No, from last season when him start buy just any team. All right. Any team.
Kems, stick up in Devin. Remember Kems that this man is a Real Madrid fan. This man never have a team in EPL. So now this is his EPL team.
Okay, fair.
All right. Kems, you see any team that's taken over by a owner and them start spend money and you see them serious about football, like them team. You see like Nottingham Forest, when they check it out, and some money wants some shipping company and this so they get them riches from. Them money not serious about football. I know they spend that money to buy. Them money not serious about football, man. It's when the aisle man them take over a team. Watch when the rich aisle man them take over a team. If you notice, check the stats. Them spend money, get players in, and as you talk about being these teams being a good coach, right? I saw what Brighton did. I was watching some clips of what Brighton did in the game. They tried at some point to play some long ball over your side, Kems. You know, because the centre backs were awful. So the coach just started try to play the ball over because the centre backs were not doing a great job. Work out for them and they beat money. Right? Now Newcastle though, they've revamped their back line. They have some good, two of them have been done, and then have other team, other players in the back line that are good. And Newcastle, although they beat a newcomer last week, that's what they should do when you have a team returning back to the league. I'm going with them being that they're at home, right? And when I look at it last year too, the matchup, they went undefeated against Brighton. 1-1, and they had a 2-1 win. So looking at that based on a matchup standpoint, I'm still taking Brighton to be undefeated and not undefeated with a draw. I think they're going to edge out a 2-1 win.
So you're going Brighton
No,
or
Newcastle.
Newcastle. Sorry, Newcastle. Why do we keep saying
Alright, so the game will be at Brighton, though.
We'll be at Brighton. I'm going for Newcastle with an away win as well.
Alright.
Okay.
Demo.
Yeah, I actually have this game as one of the most exciting games of the weekend. Two ball playing teams. Not a lot of big games. I think Chelsea Spurs are one of the big games for the weekend, but I have this one as a must watch. And like I was saying, two ball playing teams. Obviously, the dribbler in St. Max, and I expect that this game will be a high scoring affair. But I think that it will be a draw, like him said. So I'm going to go for a high scoring draw, and I'm going 2-2.
All right. So apparently, three of us made a visit to Victoria's Secret because honestly, I'm going for a draw in this game as well. I see it as a 1-1 draw, and I'm working with Kim's result and Kim's pick. So Yeah, I see this one as a draw. I think both of them will cancel out to each other in terms of the midfield battle and other stuff. So draw game this for me.
Not
Next,
touching, not touching that game as a better either.
I'm touching it, you know.
Not me.
What I'm touching it for is Newcastle double chance first half. Why they are the conceding first half. Check it back from Eddie out has taken them over. It's probably around 3 or 4 games at max they have conceded in the first half.
Okay.
But that's just me wilding. Next game that we're going to look at now is the Man City against Bournemouth game. And when I saw this fixture last weekend, I was really tempted to triple captain all that. Honestly, I was tempted to do it in FPL, but I said, you know what, let's leave it alone. But I'll start with you this time, Devin. When I
Mm.
look at when I look at this City team and when I look at Haaland himself, a long time I was talking about Haaland because you yourself even said that if not Mbappe, this is the guy that you would have wanted to replace
Mm.
Benzema.
Mm.
I look at it, City coming up against Bournemouth, who got a good victory last time out against Villa. How you see this one going?
Well, from a betting perspective, for the betters, can go put a big money on it. Man City to win and over
All right, let me
2.5.
correct you. Yeah, let me correct you. Betters, now waste money on that. City sell like for $1.06 to win.
We buy them with the goals.
No, but and if you buy them for win at 1.5,
Not 2.5.
$1.11. Waste of time.
2.5. Two waste of time still.
Big waste of time. You're muted, Kims.
When I say that
Okay.
might be like $1.55.
Oh,
Yeah.
with that and oh wow.
I'm gonna check it and tell you, but continue.
They can combine with something else. Well, City dating back from last season, they're undefeated in the last 13, I think the last 13 Premier League games. And they were away. They were away last week and they beat West Ham 2-0. This week at home, I think it's gonna be a roasting for Bournemouth. I think they're gonna feel the wrath of City. I don't see them a big score like a 4-1 or 4-1 scoreline I'm predicting for this one. City just gonna roll over them at home. The Etihad.
All right. Dima, what say you?
I mean, what is there to say? At the end of this game, like people probably have to go look for the highlights on some adult porn website because this is going to be an absolute demolition job. Like it's going to be an embarrassment. I think that. I mean, we all wrote off Bournemouth at the start of the season. Now we say them they're gonna lose and them turn out and they won the game against Villa. But this is not going to happen. I'm going for 6-0 Manchester City. And
Wow.
and to add to that, Haaland is going to get a hat trick in that game. Just saying.
Wow. All right, so Devin, I checked it. The City to win on 2.5, $1.28. Waste of time.
Waste of time that you're more for lose your money than winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, can combine with something else.
better go buy Alan for score because Alan for score herself for $1.34. So I rather take a risk on that than take that $1.28. But Kems, what say you on this one?
I say man, I'm gonna drop 6. That on a risk that we are taking, man.
The might as well buy City and over 5.5 then if you're going to go with
That make more
3.0.
sense. So, as a matter of fact, you see City to win and over 4.5, $2.50. No way having an argument.
That
Okay.
ain't happening, boss.
Okay.
That is, listen, I'll give City. Listen. The way Dortmund play against Aston Villa, they don't dare to come out there and play so
The way
against Manchester.
who?
Huh?
The way who?
What matter about Dortmund?
You know what man mean, boss?
More man, I mean. The way them play against freaking Aston Villa, if they dare to play so against City, they'll probably get 12. If they have to sit back and try and wait for the counter when probably one of them midfielders they turn over the ball and then they get a little quick counter and try to see what you can do. But obviously we know how City play. They're going to control the possession. Obviously their center, they have this new thing now where the center backs come in now and they're a part of the midfield. And they play very narrow. So what you're going to do, you're going to try to go wide and try to spread it wide and see if you can get a quick counter. Well, come on, Bournemouth not good. I'm going to go with a 4-0 victory. Obviously, Haaland is going to score. I don't know if he's going to score a hat trick, but I know he'll have plenty of opportunities to score that hat trick. But I'm going with a 4-0 for Manchester City.
I think there is a Kim said more on them for Netro AliExpress.
Go
All right, so
ahead.
this is Adrian saying 6-1 to City.
6-1.
Michelle saying Haaland hat-trick today.
Easily, easily.
Terry saying 4-0 Bournemouth. Lerma perfect hat-trick. Yes, Terry. Nice what you call it? Deflective.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah. K Connor, as always, making some wild predictions saying 2-all
Oh my gosh,
as a
bro.
Chelsea man. Jermaine Watson saying 3-0 to City. Owen saying 4-1 to City. And as always, Shakes expect Haaland to score an hat-trick as well. Well, as a matter of fact, he's saying that Haaland will score 4 goals alone. But let's continue on the next game.
The thing is, one quick thing, right?
Yeah, man, go ahead, man.
The thing is, I don't think Haaland is going to play the full 90 minutes for him to score all them 4 goals. Yeah, that's
Him
his
the need
always.
90 minutes.
You know, I'm
Huh?
going to play full game,
Him
though.
the need 90 minutes.
To score 4 goals?
Against
Haaland, then this team him the need that so much time.
Okay.
True.
Let's see.
60 minutes. 60 minutes and he will score the 4 goals.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
next game that we're going to look at is Wolves against Fulham. Wolves, they have gone out and final they have signed another player. As I mentioned the other week, they signed Gonzalo Guedes. They need another forward. But guess what's the issue? Guedes, Neto, Podence, and Oilman, they all play the same way.
Yeah,
They all have one thing in common: lack.
in product.
Okay, let me not say anymore. So that is the issue with all them, and I think what Wolves really need is a striker. They really need a striker because Raul Jimenez, as I mentioned, injured. Wang is up and down, so you don't really know what you're going to get with them. So this time around, I'm going to start with Demo. So you look at this one. What do you have to say about it in terms of scoreline prediction and game itself?
You have to tell me who are the home team.
Any team that you're call first, man. Wolves versus Fulham.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, so the thing is, Fulham are definitely on a high after getting that draw against Liverpool. I'm expecting that they'll get back down to earth. I think they were just up for the first game, up against Liverpool, playing at home, and they came out like a house on fire. So they were on a high and they got the point. I don't expect that intensity to remain going to Wolves to play. I expect Mitrovic to continue playing well, but I just don't expect them to win this game. So I'm actually going for a draw, and I'm going to go for a 1-all draw.
All right. Devin, as a man of betting, I hear what Dima just said. I just check it in at $2.35 goals I get for win at home, Big odds.
Yeah, big odds, but I'm afraid of this game, bro. I'm afraid of this game. Afraid of this.
Go ahead.
I was watching some review show, right? I saw this guy, who is it in Wolves? Because I don't even know them. I got Nathan Collins. I don't like when players make them things here, right? They lost last week, right? 2-1 to Leeds, right?
Yeah.
And then Collins saying, I thought we played well enough, created enough, and defended well enough to take something away from this game. That's not how football works. Just like Dimo was saying, like, you could have done that. If this guy had done that, this would have happened, or this may have happened. That's not how it works. You know? You get beaten, you stay beaten. And Fulham, you know, they good take 2 points to drop cause Liverpool drop 2 points. So I'm thinking that at home, Wolves will do a better showing, and against Fulham, and Fulham is away. I'm looking for a draw in this game, and I have them done for a 1-1 draw. And if you're thinking about betting a game for all the bettors out there, this is a game to avoid, just to avoid this game. I don't know which way to bet. I could tell it may go under 2.5, but then they score and it end up 3-3 draw. Just avoid this game if you're betting. Just avoid this game. But I'm picking a 1-1.
All right, so I think Victoria's Secret is smiling this weekend from all of us. So, Kems, are you going to change the narrative, or you're going to just give Victoria some more money?
I will say avoid this game if you are a coward. That's how you avoid the game. If you are a coward, listen. I am buying Wolves. As a matter of fact, as soon as I'm finished with this show, I'm
Buy
buying
Wolves to win.
Wolves to win this game.
I
Now,
agree
listen.
with you.
Again, listen. I'm looking at a side like Fulham. After playing Liverpool at that, and Demo said you play Liverpool at
That
that intensity last week. I can't expect you to repeat that.
why,
I just
why
can't.
this boy
Like I
can't
can't
maintain,
see it.
why this boy can't maintain this high level of reasoning right through, eh? Why?
Hold on, Fulham have to prove me wrong tomorrow. But I have bet. Every money when me having on my betting team, I put it on Wolves. And I look and I say Traore is questionable, not fully out. Traore would love going up against this Fulham defense, running at them. Listen, Wolves is going to win this game 3-1. You can't tell me Mitrovic probably going to score a penalty. Probably, he's a very physical forward, so obviously he's going to be in there and he can do things. What I'm really worried about though with Wolves is that we talk about how great they were. Remember, even when we were picking our Premier League side, we're talking about this team great defensively. The keeper is good, but they haven't got a clean sheet in their last 10 games. That's not good, right? That's not good enough for a team that is known for their defensive powers, right? So no, and then I remember Wolves last season they lost their first 3 games, and I remember we came on here and we talked and said, well, hey, Wolves was good enough to get a point from that game to win that game, but it just never happened, right? So I'm looking at this and I think they want a different start. I know what a better team to play than Fulham. I'm thinking Wolves going to dominate this game. I'm going 3 goals to Wolves, 1 goal to Fulham. And Devin, right now, if you want rich, buy Wolves and over 1.5. These are the easiest. That's like $4 odds. You can't lose. Put a 2 bills on it and you get a 8 bills in your pocket. Easy. Lunch money for the week.
You know what? Same like I mentioned, I'm just go check it right now, see if you're correct.
Right. But I look at it from this perspective. What about the argument? I get what you're saying with the intensity from last week, but what about the flip side of the coin?
Okay.
They would have that confidence of getting a draw with the big mighty Liverpool and bring that confidence over this week.
But the thing is,
and then Wolves in the last 11 games, dating back from last season, they haven't got a win in the last 11 games.
They haven't played Fulham in the last 11 either.
Well, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
So look at it, David. And
all right, I'm listening.
And you can probably see it. When you're going up against somebody going, boy, this team is better than me. This team probably going to try to warm me. This team, you're going to put out your best effort. Give them, like Fulham, not at one point I said, boy, Fulham was afraid of Liverpool. Not at one point I saw that last week. They come out, they play, they attack, the forward, go at Van Dijk, all of that kind of stuff. No, they're playing against Wolves. It's just the human. Just as a human being. You're not going to be riled up to say, oh, God, Wolves, boy, them lose to Leeds last week. Boy, we can beat them, boy. You're probably going to underestimate Wolves. Boy, we can beat them, boy. Look how we toe-to-toe with Liverpool. We can beat them, boy. And you come unprepared and you get under 3 love by the time they know it, you can't get back the momentum to come back into the game. So I'm looking at that. I can't say Wolves losing this game for sure, but I can see them nicking a victory right at home. I can't turn down $2.35 as for this game, boss. I am sorry.
Sweet.
What time again does start?
9.
10 my time. All right.
All right, and before we move on to the next game, remember, guys, big up to our sponsors and ensure that they give them some support. Let's Care Medical, Let's Care Optical. Visit them at their 3 branches in Mandeville, Santa Cruz, and Montego Bay. And remember, it's school time, man. Go get a medical done. 5 bills, cheap. Can't run left at the 11, so ensure that you do that. And also, use up the code SportsFrenzy 2022 and get 20% off frames, glasses, etc. So just go out there and give Let's Care Medical and Let's Care Optical some support. Next game now, I'm going to start with Kems on that one. Ivan Tony is licking his lips right now, knowing that he's going to come up against a shaky defense to come tomorrow. But on the flip side, they think that Mr. Ten Hag will make changes versus what we saw last weekend, because last weekend that team was absolutely flat, absolutely awful, and it was just not good. So come this weekend around, how do you see this one going? Also, let's point out that Brentford have finally confirmed the signing of Mikel Damsgaard, good player. He actually impressed during Euros last season for Norway, for Denmark. Sorry. So when you look at that, you have to say about this one.
So again, there's another with the Arsenal Leicester thing. There's a storyline within a storyline here, right? Because Ericsson, Ericsson will be, on the pitch. I remember Brentford wanted him to come back, and he was like, I guess no, he's going to Manchester United. So no, Brentford, and I know these footballers are petty. I know Brentford want to get you in and say, see, you should have stayed with us. And but I don't see that character in a United team. Honestly, me picking United to win this game is just because it's a team I'm love. Honestly, like I can't if I'm supposed to go with an objective pick, is a 2-all draw. This is a 2-all draw. The same shabby defending, the same careless give away the ball in the middle of the park, the same nonsense low IQ football, and the same poor shooting in front of goal. We saw what Bruno did. Got the empty goal last week, missed it. If he had scored that, it could have probably been a different game. But again, I've said it over and over and over. Since Ole left, I haven't seen this United team look like they're interested to play football. They don't look like they love the football. They don't look like they love the coach. They just look like, man, I'm getting paid millions of dollars. Let me just go there and play. I don't see the passion in the team. I don't see the fight. I don't see the hunger. Normally when you wear a Manchester United badge, you see that hunger, you see that fight, you see that character, you see the determination. I'm looking at this, it's looking like a bunch of jokers out there. And again, people say give Ten Hag time. Why? Why should I give him time? All I want is first 5 games in charge of Manchester United. What do you mean 2? Well, look again. Probably first 2 Premier League games. I'm talking all competitions. One is first 5 games. 5, right? What? And then Mr. Press Conference, 1-0 against Norwich, struggling. Now Ten Hag, I don't know what he's doing. So again, you don't need any extra time. If you're a great coach, you don't need time to prove that you're a great coach. You come in, you hit the ground running, and you get the job done. This is, again I said, this is not Ajax. You're not coaching against these jokers, 20 and all those teams like that. This is the Premier League. You should come to coach. Right? So
Preach,
looking at
preach.
that right now, listen, after Demo say you can't use any emotions on this, I'm sorry. I'm going with a Brentford draw. I'm going with a 2-2 draw for this game. United will not win this game.
Wow. Well said.
Anything else? I know.
No.
What I was saying is that you mentioned that guy name twice. I wasn't talking about anything else.
Okay.
Why is that a surprise?
No, you know what I'm about to do? I'm going to create a video clip for next week. So each time that he mentions him, I just bring up the video clip mentioning him. But Devin, let's see this one going.
Well, I'm going with the big name team. So all right, I'll compare this. Like you were telling me, like go with Wolves to beat Fulham. I put my money on it. I'd rather put my money on Man U to beat Brentford than Wolves to beat Fulham.
What?
Right?
What? Why?
No.
You can tell say he's not a Premier League man. Don't ask him why.
No. I'm going with that. I'm going with that because all right, I don't see where Brentford is in a superior team from over Man U.
We know what you're not see. We know.
They came from behind. They came from behind against Leicester. Yeah, we got a point against Leicester, right? But Man U, I think from early out, Ten Hag would want to try to avoid the noise. Because if he lose that game tomorrow, people gonna start talking that's 2-2, and every game is gonna seem like a battle going forward. So it would be great disaster if you lose that game tomorrow.
It's already great disaster. We don't understand what you're saying.
People already said 10 about boss.
Two L's in the first 2 games, and then the talk was they were positive in the preseason. They felt good in preseason, but now is the real deal. So I'm going with Man U to get that win over Brentford. It's not like Brentford is a Chelsea or Spurs. I am going with Man U to win that game, and especially if the GOAT get in the game time, good game time, the GOAT will come up.
So let me ask you. So let me ask you a question, Devin. So
Yeah.
the same Manchester United you're referring to, they played against Brighton. Brighton lost two of their better players, right?
Yeah.
And they ball Manchester United at Old Trafford, run them right off the pitch. So why is it
When
that
they say ball them like what? Ball them like what? They play better than them because
In
Man U
every
are
aspect,
the
every
better at the
aspect.
position.
yup, yup,
They had
yup?
more possession. They had like 60-something% of the ball. When they say ball them, what you mean?
What you
Like
mean? They out?
outplay them.
Yes, they outplayed
They have
them.
more possession. What ball them mean? Me not understand.
No, they
Yeah,
outplayed
having
them.
possession no mean you ball them, boss.
No, we just want to get it from
No,
you.
no, they outplayed them. They outplayed them.
Play them, okay.
Yeah, it was like Brighton was playing against like a Manning Cup team. They outplayed them all over the park. So I'm saying, with that information now, you are still going to come here and pick
Yes,
United to win.
that's why this guy that's why they get a big coach. And even though you're saying it's stupidly well, not you didn't use the word stupid. You are comparing Ajax league. It's not against 20 or Feyenoord or whatever they are. It's a
Yeah.
big team. I believe in this coach. This coach is not a PE coach, right?
Oh yeah?
This coach is a big coach, and you will get the result. You
Okay.
will get the result. You will
Okay.
get the result.
Let's hope him can last 3 years. It ain't looking
It
good.
will. It will. It will.
Dima.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, this is as Kim's mentioned it, this is the story within a story. It's all about Tony Stark in midfield. Well, if he's even going to play in midfield, because I think Ten Hag used him as a false nine, fooling at the first game at some point in time. So is he going to be playing midfield and Ronaldo playing in this game, because they must see this as a must-win game now. And despite all the drama surrounding Cristiano Ronaldo, Ten Hag can't afford all of the stuff will come down for them.
Both
So
has to play.
starting Ronaldo is probably going to be key for him. And obviously, one thing that Ronaldo gives you is goals. The thing is, I think Brentford, they're going to bully that back line. I like me just see Ivan Tony and the brother there were 4 feet, Martinez, whatever I want to be. I know that
The
Tony is going
disrespect.
to have. What do you mean? How tall
Man
is
is not the
Martinez?
man is not 4 feet, bro. The man is
Boss, him
five
not
feet
taller
nine.
than Kems. I'm sure of that.
The,
Yo,
he is taller than James. The man is five
Uh,
get
feet
high
nine.
standards for shot, man.
I know Tony is going to have a wonderful time up against that defense, Maguire. I mean, that's if they use him. You don't know what the starting lineup are gonna be like. But if it's him and Maguire, then Brentford will have a wonderful time at that back line. So I'm actually going for Brentford. So I'm not even gonna call it an upset. So I'm going for Brentford to win 2-1.
Not a bad pick.
I'm going for Man United to win.
Yeah, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'm going
Congrats.
for them. I am going for them to win. And guess what?
You're
Of
gonna put
course,
them
the
on your
dogs are
ticket
better.
too?
What's that?
You're
Me,
gonna put them on your
bro,
ticket as well?
bro. If there's one thing and one law that I've made, my team now bust my ticket. I see like, oh, yes, enough man cry about them say I bust them ticket. Me not depend that one day. So if them win, they win without me. If them
Say,
lose without me.
say, say Ten Hag is a big coach.
Of course he is.
Why? Why is he?
Bro, there's no way a man can have a team like Ajax punching like what they did to a semi-final in Champions League. There's no way it can be just like a mediocre coach and reach them levels there. There's no way it can, and I'm not talking about one season. He done it. He did it consistently in Champions League, and if we ask, it is the biggest level of club football. So a man can't just be a bug coach and keep and punch against these teams in EPL, these teams in La Liga, and these teams in Bundesliga. I don't consider him as a big coach.
I don't really saw it, but all right. But how can you call a man a PE teacher that won 29 straight away games in the EPL?
And where did that get him? What are you on
Yeah.
about?
Okay.
So hold on. Are you going to now compare Tenag to that guy?
Well,
Because
I'll
that is what
say
I'm getting from your argument today.
so. I'll say right now, since Alex Ferguson has left, it's Jose Mourinho, it's Ole, and everybody else down at the bottom. So Ten Hag
I know
is
that
actually.
sounds very dumb and stupid because you know why Ten Hag only has played one game,
I am.
one single
I
game. So
am.
how are you going to judge it, man?
No,
I,
hold on, boss.
what does
Hold on,
that
boss.
even make
No,
sense?
hold on, boss. Just like a calm down after the emotions a little bit. This is what I'm saying. I am saying there's a part when you go to
I'm
a
not
club,
emotional right
there's a
now.
particular standard that you're trying to reach to. And the standard now, after Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho, Ole. And then everybody else down at the bottom. Right?
Facts.
Mr. Press Conference and everybody down at the bottom. Mr. Press Conference could not reach Ole standard and then
Facts.
kick him out. So then now, let us see
You
what
mentioned that name at least 7 times already. I'd go
well,
with it.
but let us see what Ten Hag can do, because if Ten Hag can't get the team to at least a final, at least a semi-final, 29 games unbeaten, 5 straight wins as soon as he becomes the manager, like these are the things. Galvanize the locker room, change what the culture of Manchester United after Jose Mourinho leave that team in shambles. If he
You
cannot do
suck.
that, he
Finish
is
You
out
second.
the door.
you suck at everything you
Yeah,
just said.
you can say suck,
You do.
whatever. I promise you, Ten Hag won't put no smile on your face as Ole did. And I know you will hide behind closed doors and oh God, Ole make me feel good. Ten Hag won't let
No, no,
you
no, no, no,
have
no, no,
those
no, no,
emotions.
no, no, no. Wait, say
I
a
know
while
that.
ago.
I
Brother,
know
me
that.
tell you over and over, say, unlike y'all, me is one of the most least emotional come on to football. Brother, my days of being all emotional about football over. Long time.
But it's not about all our lease. I'm saying
Yeah, that is
when
what you
when
just said. You said
no,
that I'm going to be
I'm
behind
saying
closed
I
door
know that
hooking up and all. Man,
Ole, even though you come here and you talk, I know Ole put a lot of smiles in your heart and a
Of
lot of
course.
smiles
actually
on your face.
Of
didn't.
course.
Didn't.
Let's move on.
That man sucked at United. It was not the worst decision ever.
Yeah, you guess it, yes.
It was like taking one step forward and 5 steps backwards.
Yeah, all right.
That is the reason why we have man like Phil Jones still there on big contract. That's the reason why you have bug like Marcus Rashford one contract demand over 400K right now.
Well,
Yeah.
listen what I'll say this, and this is the last thing I'll say. I remember when Mr. Press Conference take over, you and the sponsor wanna come here, yes, yes. Finally, no more feel good moments. Finally, we get all the idiot PE teacher.
I
Yeah,
remember. I remember.
I'm not
and
a
so what?
blasted team. The only thing I can credit Mr. Press Conference for is calling out the board, where everybody already knows that they are crap. Everybody already know that. So I'm basically just state the obvious, because everybody knows they are foolishness. Jose Mourinho said, Zlatan Ibrahimovic said, everybody said the board is crap, is trash. But in terms of a football level, and you came here and you
Yep.
told me, oh, this man coach Klopp, oh,
Club
this man
father.
this one did this, and then him come and do absolute garbage. Then when him start the garbage, you know what me hear and say, oh, he's more of a consultant. He's a long time in the coach. He's a
No, no,
consultant.
no. Who
Why you
said
know?
that? Who said that? Because I'm gonna shut you. No,
I
it's time for
can't
me
say
shut you
who.
up, because you know
Yo.
so calm I have been all along. Let me talk. So you know, back to you.
If
You hear
I
that
laugh tonight.
and spread a lot of misinformation in which that's not correct. Don't spread any
No,
misinformation.
no, boss.
First
So
and
I'm
foremost,
saying,
I came at the no, shut up now. Honor your
all
time,
right.
my time.
Mute
Yeah,
Shut
him,
up.
go ahead.
Mike.
I was gonna mute. So hear me I say no.
Mm-hmm.
I came on here and what did I say? First off, I said that 6 months is not enough time. That was one of the first things me said about this man. One of the other things that I said about him, this man has to build his own team. When the man get the team, that is one of the things I said. And I also said that if you look at it, these players are garbage. And he himself came out and he said it, that they are garbage. Why is it that we are now living in a world where we keep on mentioning that? Oh, Manchester United need a whole starting 11. When this man was the one who said that United need 10 whole new players. He even said 1, 2, 3, nor 4 or 5, and they said 10 new players. So,
But
what are you on about?
okay, so again, my issue is always the fact that when Ole was there, I never hear that
Jesus
these players
Christ.
was trash. I heard that Ole was trash. I heard that Ole
I
was the
agree.
reason why
True.
Manchester
If
United
the
wasn't
Good
good.
reason
reason
for
that.
this,
That's a
you
good
don't know for
argument.
this. United man them a chat now. So let
Listen,
me
Yeah,
split the
well,
team.
me just a confirm.
listen, yeah, thank you for
We don't
confirming,
need a
boss.
validation.
It said Ole was the reason why Manchester United no good. Oh, when get this from Everton. Oh, got him no good. Oh, Norwich. Oh, Watford beat him up this. Oh, get him out of the club. Oh, him are the worst thing ever to Manchester United. You guys use the worst adjectives to describe Ole. Okay, cool, no problem. And then you can say, oh, six, and say box set come in, you know. So when box set, listen,
Give
box
us the
set,
stat.
Yo.
box set, that's what I said, my boss. Box set was one of them too who come on at the top, oh yeah. Oh, finally we get a good coach. Finally we get somebody new, somebody who can manage the team. And Mr. Press Conference did absolutely nothing. But we're not going to spend no more time on United because we can't do that forever. Let's just move on, boss. We have a long night ahead of us.
I'm not going to move on.
I agree.
I control the tempo of this, so you can't tell me when to move on. Yes, when you're on Mills podcast, you can move on, but not here. So, back to you again. Jason, what good?
There, boss. Busy
Man,
enough
they are
with flagging.
disrespecting the dog. The man even call you boxed and all of these stuff. Big
Kim's alright. Kim's alright.
No.
But me not going to take him on with this Oli business because I can't believe that Oli is the standard for United now. That cannot be.
But the man right. We mean they not take him on. There's nothing to take on. The man just give pure facts.
They must stay out of this.
I am talking from an outsider point of view, boss. Who no bias towards the thing. We don't have our own
you
side.
see want to come on to Liverpool business. We don't feel involved in that.
That's fine, but I am a neutral. We don't have a side.
We don't want to hear you. We don't want to hear. We're the
Kim's
neutral.
right. Yeah, but no, you don't want to hear because Kim's right. What Shakes? No, watch it.
Shakes never find a time to join, but no. Yo.
Shakes, all good.
Listen, the way I'm tired, right?
I leave him to Shakes. Take it on, Shakes.
Levon, you know, I'm sorry that Kims has decided to go in the backstage, right? Him always do that. But guess what? Kims, be a man. You come on the male's pod show. This is not a female thing, right? It's not an emotional segment. Get on the podcast and stop running like a woman. I know that all of Victoria's Secret get picked tonight with the draws, but guess what? Come back on the podcast. Anyway.
Yeah, address the my point.
Levon, listen, Manchester United have become such mediocrity that we are still living in the past, and a man is now claiming that Ole is the standard. Just think about that. The man just say, after Jose Mourinho, Ole. So Ole becomes the standard. Can you imagine a man that literally did nothing, achieved nothing, that failed, right? Anyway, the club right now, if a man is going to get up and talk about Ten Hag and whatever, listen, there's no way you get a club like Manchester United, you embolden all these players into believing that they are this great thing since sliced bread. Demo is here agreeing with what Kems is saying. Yet Demo would take absolutely nobody off that Manchester United team and put on his Liverpool team.
Stop talk for me, boss, because that's definitely not true.
Okay,
I have a number of players.
Name them.
For Liverpool?
No, man. Who would you take up? Manchester United and put on the Liverpool team?
So that was just
first,
definitely taking Bruno Fernandes.
You taking Bruno to start for your team?
Before Greenwood did what he did, would I have Greenwood on my side all day, every day?
No. Take away Greenwood. Take out Greenwood.
Yeah, well, Bruno Fernandes.
So you would have Bruno starting in your team?
Yeah, right in midfield, yeah.
One player.
Why man understand why this have to do with this?
No, man. No. Because you say you're agreeing, right?
Because the man gave a lot of facts. All know you not address none of the man facts. All you say Ole not achieve nothing. The man say Ole is the standard after Jose. Ole finished second, boss. Until somebody come here and finish higher than that, the man is the standard. So if you not address the man point, then brother, it don't make no sense.
But
address the standard.
But Demo, was Brendan Rodgers the standard at Liverpool at one point?
Standard for who?
Simple question.
This isn't a Liverpool conversation.
No. It's the same parallel. It's the same parallel. Was Brendan Rodgers?
Hold on, Shakes.
The
You see how long
standard for what?
me tell you how long to take your mouth out of United business, decide to keep it in. So answer the man question.
But hold on. The question don't make any sense. It's not
What you
relevant to what
mean?
we're talking about.
It does.
Kem said the coaches
Does
that are coming after.
yeah, and yeah, we know
where
that.
the man name only they have a while ago, we just get fired. Him not pass the standard of Ole yet. So obviously he's the standard. The man is
Yes.
saying Ten
So
Hag
I'm
coming
saying,
now.
so
That is
before,
the standard
so
he
yeah,
must
so
look to beat.
before
What is wrong
Jurgen
with that?
Klopp, right?
What is
Before
wrong with
Jurgen
saying,
Klopp, was Brendan Rodgers the standard?
boss? Like I said, this is irrelevant.
You know,
Bro.
irrelevant. Me just want your
It
honest
makes
opinion.
100%
Jurgen Klopp
sense.
had to do better than what when me and Dodgers do. Dodgers
All
finished
right.
second.
So
Klopp
yeah,
come
but hold
and
on,
Rodgers was the
but
standard to
Demo,
beat.
would
Him
you
beat
at
it and
any
win the
point,
Premier
hold
League.
on, would you at any point
Kim,
mention that Brendan
talk to
Rodgers
Kim.
was the standard?
The man was the standard for who was to come because he finished second. Therefore, whoever was coming afterwards have to beat that. It's simple and a rocket science.
So hold
Klopp
on.
come and beat the standard that was second.
That is how you guys assess coaches nowadays.
All right, this is gonna be very dragged out, so I'm just gonna stop talk.
No, because you see, you guys are only making a comment, you know, and sharing a point convenient to how you want to argue something, but you can't. But listen,
So wait,
in
shake. So
sports,
you don't
in
want Ten Hag
sports,
to surpass the standard that Ole set.
sir,
That's what you're saying?
hold on. I never said that. Let me finish what
Okay.
I was about to say. In sports, it's about winning. If you don't win, you can never be the standard. If you don't win, winners set the standard, right? Finishing second can never ever be a standard in sport. Learn that. It will never ever be. First place is the only place that
Bro,
matter because
that
that is the
doesn't even
only
make
place.
sense,
Yes, it does
bro.
because
All
it's
right.
only first place get trophy.
That's irrelevant. So you know,
What you
take things
mean?
in a context. What if a team is rebuilding? What if you do whole heap of other stuff? A bag of players come in that you have to use for jail. What you mean second is not a standard?
Hold on. So don't you believe that Ten Hag is rebuilding at Manchester United or needs to rebuild at Manchester
All right,
United?
talk to Kim. Talk to Kim.
Thank you,
Simple,
Shakes.
simple question.
Because
So
I was
Ole
going to
never
bring
have
it
to
to them.
rebuild. Ole never have to rebuild.
Ole
And no
is the
continue
one that
fail.
emboldened all these players into believing that they were better than they weren't. And that is why we are here today, where you would only pick one of those players to put in your team today. Because guess what? The rest of them no good. It's simply no. So even though you finish second, how you going to use that if you only can pick one man out of that team, Demo? Go around the league. Okay, who Chelsea going to take out of the Manchester United team, put in their team? Who Man City would take? Nobody would take any of those players. So
Right
what
now,
standard are
Shakes,
you
all
talking
you're
about?
doing right now is bigging up Kim's point even more. Because if none of
Begin
the
up.
players them no good and only use the man them for come second and do all the way him do, the win percentage him have, the unbeaten run that him have, that means they only do a marvelous job. That's all
Demo,
you do
you
a
see,
big up the
you
man
see,
point.
you see the job, you see the results that Ole got had a lot to do with one called Mason Greenwood.
Oh Lord of mercy. All right, you know what? Take over, my
A lot of the results. Go on, Devin.
No, one thing more I address what Kim said. I'm in a year, like, if you not address it, it probably fly over my head. The narrative was always said that Ole was trash. And nobody was saying that about the players. But now another coach come, all the players are not good. The players are not good. Nobody's
Devin.
He said that. I'm in a year not address that. If
exactly, them not address the man
so I
point.
want you
Them
to address that. Just that more.
And I disagree with that because Shakes has been somebody.
So hold on, Shakes, hold on, Shakes, hold on. So Devin, I can defend Shakes right there. Shakes has always been one of those persons that always said that all Man United players are trash. Even Bruno Fernandes, Shakes has said that
Bruno, thank you.
Trash.
Even when persons were raving about Bruno Fernandes, I used to tell everybody that guess what? This man lose the ball too much. Him can't do nothing on the football field. Listen, scoring the penalties, yes, he has good numbers at the end of the day. But how is he really helping the team? Because he does not make anybody around him better. Nobody around him has gotten better.
All right, fine. And put aside the teams improve. So if you're consistent in saying that they were trash, I'm using logical reason now.
Yes.
And a coach before get a good result in finishing second with the trash team. So why when this other coach who's better than that previous coach?
So let me answer this simple question.
Result?
Let me answer this simple question.
You
see the year Manchester United finished second, Liverpool, most of their team, key players were injured. And Demo can tell you that. Otherwise, we would not have finished second. So that position was actually a false sense of doing well because the Liverpool team would have done better than us if they were fit. Demo can't deny that.
So why Ole forget blame for what happened to other teams? The man still have to do him up to do.
It's not a matter of blame, but he's putting it into perspective, Demo. So to think that you are better than Elaine Thompson here gonna the Commonwealth and she win the double.
Why Chelsea never finished second?
Why they never finished second?
Yeah, why a Man U have to do it since Liverpool did mess up?
But hold on, but Arsenal they were in a rebuilding phase.
Oh Lord, okay.
They were. Chelsea underperformed.
All right.
But that has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with Ole. But don't tell me that your team would not have finished second in that season. Ole wouldn't have come second.
I have no idea what my team does.
Mr. Host.
Yeah.
Mr. Host, I'm not take over your show. I'm not about the show. So I beg you, please, Mr. Host. Time I run at 10:19 over here now. I agree. Talk about some more games, please.
I mean, if you guys want to go, you guys can go, but I'm not going to rush it.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going
to move on, though. I don't know what.
Because I know him, but not address the night point in my youth. It don't make no sense.
Ayo, the man just saying done and you still a repeat back. Easy, no?
No, Shakes never done.
Move on. Shakes is done, man.
Okay.
I'm gone, guys. Bless up.
Big up more Shakes. Big up. Nothing on first against West Ham.
Man, come you want Joe Chief to talk about Ole?
Listen, Nottingham versus West Ham. Listen, Nottingham again. That's one of the teams I have going down. But if they're going to show me any differently, they must play better than how they played last week. Last week, I don't know. Listen, Fulham played again. I said it. Fulham and Bournemouth, they play like they belong in the Premier League. Nottingham play like they belong in the Championship. Like they play like a Watford and the other team, Norwich, right? They were just absolutely awful. And I know Newcastle is a better team than them, but Newcastle is no Real Madrid, or Newcastle is no Liverpool or Man City, but they totally outclass Nottingham. And obviously West Ham, they played Man City, they lost. But there were a few bright spots there. Listen, it's one game, so I won't overreact. But again, Antonio from them take the private jet and bring him from Jamaica and bring him back. Give him a treat. When a girl may use a certain treatment and you treat her away, and she's like, wow, I never get this before. And she's just never the same. That is what I see with Antonio. He's from them flying and I say, yo, we need a baller. From him come back up, he's just never the same. He's in the link-up play, but goal scoring and goal contributions that's not the same for him. So I'm hoping that against Nottingham, against a team that's on the lower end of the spectrum, hopefully he can get a goal tomorrow, get himself involved, get some confidence. Because as footballers, that is what they need most. They have the ability, we know that they can play the sport, but they need the confidence. And if you don't have the confidence, you won't be able to execute. Obviously, Jared Bowen, hopefully can continue that form that he ended last season with. The verdict is still out on Rice and Peas. It is still out on him because, again, I won't even talk about that City game because that City game, he was playing hide and seek. That man was hiding. And again, you can tell me, City crawled up the midfield. Listen, I don't care. As a professional footballer, figure it out. Find a way to figure it out. I don't want to hear no excuses. Right? So again, if he's $100 million player, I'm expected to see $100 million product. And what I saw the other day was $100 Jamaican product. That is what I saw against Manchester City. That not good enough by no stretch of the imagination.
Wow.
I'm looking against a Nottingham. You're supposed to be a bright spot. I'm supposed to see you influence the game. I'm supposed to see you making those passes, making those tackles, being that person, come collect the ball, distribute. I'm supposed to be seeing all of that. So I'm looking for that from Mr. Rice and Peas, but I'm going with a West Ham victory. 3-0 West Ham.
But back to what I said earlier about Antonio. It's probably 50-50 right now if he starts, because I heard that Skamaka is knocking on the door to actually start. So
Yep.
not looking so bossy for him right now. I remember that he's going up in age as well. So tough.
Yep. And then even that same Skamaka dude, even though he came on a little bit late, he was more lively. He was more lively when he
showed
came on.
way more than Antonio did for the entire game.
Yep.
Correct.
So, hopefully he plays.
I don't remember if I remember the run that he made on the right wing, I believe. I think it was behind what's the left back name, man? Cancelo. I think it was behind Cancelo, and if you looked at it, those are the movements that Antonio was doing until he came to Jamaica the other day. So not likely probably him starts right now. Things that look so bossy for the man. And I mean, he deserve to take some beating, because if I was to call the man national, the man start move rational, brother.
Yes.
Beat him.
National water crackers.
The disrespect. But Dimo, I said that's not going.
Yeah, I think Nottingham Forest, like I said, they're going down for me. They got like the 500 new signing when they signed Dennis like yesterday. I just don't see how they're going to gel this team in time to stay up in the Premier League. They have so many new signings and they're just playing all of them one time for try and stay up, I guess. And I remember when Fulham do that and them end up go back down. I think West Ham they're going to dominate this game. And I think they're going to win comfortably. 3-0. And then I'll be fair to Antonio, Antonio was lively for the first 5 minutes of that Man City game. And then it kind of win. But that happened.
Are you telling me that we should give him a pass?
No. But the man did lively, but it is what it is. 3-0 West Ham.
But talking about that, I think this is the third. Then it will be the 13th or 14th signing for Nottingham. So,
bro, that's ridiculous, bro.
Which then is that? The same one?
This from Watford.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's a baller still,
Yeah.
But just forget the man for come and jail and play and I don't know.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm realizing is that they're buying too much. I could say probably too much of the same sort of players, because Dennis, in a sense, plays similar to Lingard. So, it's tough. And how would you fit in? For argument's sake, how do you fit in Brennan Johnson, Jesse Lingard, and Emmanuel Dennis in the same lineup?
Crazy.
Hey, was that quote about Lingard and the coach conversation, was that true?
Which one?
Or that was fake? When the coach was saying, I know what you're thinking, and I'm paraphrasing, I know what you're thinking, you should be at Newcastle now, but if Bruno was, I'm sure it was fake, yeah.
I'm not sure if it is. I didn't really see much of it. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you're saying if Bruno was on one leg, Lingard still couldn't get in that midfield and all the kind of stuff. So I figured it was fake, but I don't know if you guys saw it.
But Devin.
Yeah. So I would like for Scammer, I call him, to start. That man had 16 goals in Serie A. And when he was at even though Lebanon, sometimes I used to tell you about them worthless team named Sassolusa.
Brother, I cuss out Sassola almost every week.
Sassola, yes, but sometimes when you want a goal, that man will give you a goal for them. And I tell you, enough time I want him to score a goal and I cuss them out every week, but whenever sometimes for him to get a goal, he will come up with a goal. And I think even though we may have some sentiments as it relates to Antonio, I think the coach should try and start him. You buy a man score 16 goals. I don't know how many goals Antonio scored last season for them. I doubt it was 6. I doubt it was 10. So I would go for him and start him over Antonio. And with that being said, I'm bringing them to win 2-1. West Ham to beat first 2-1. And just the same thing that y'all said. I hear every expert saying, everybody saying, there's no way you can you can buy a lot of players, but like to try integrate all of them at once, it's not possible from a footballing standpoint. So
We are here safe. We are here safe and win.
well, so one of your favorite. Oh my gosh, I have to keep opening this door. One of your favorite guys would say what they call in the same, not in the same sentence of saying Atletico Madrid souped up Stoke City. Yeah, one of that guy was saying like it's not gonna work. I don't remember his name. I think I found the Nichols.
No, like I mean, like ESPN or one of them.
God, one of them ESPN Plus, and that girl I used to work on.
Okay, with Alex Nunes and whatever.
That girl used to, yeah, cause on Sportsmax.
And when you hear it today.
Like about last week.
Oh, okay. I think so. Them listen to this because I've been saying this from the first show that we had.
Yeah, that's what
relegation.
Saying. Yeah, I know you're. Yeah.
Maybe them watch Sports Friends. I'm just there check.
I don't know.
But Statsman.
Yeah.
Let's say this game ago.
First, I guess I spoke about it already because the two newest acquisitions Forest have two quality acquisitions. You mentioned that they're probably looking to buy too many players at this moment. Probably of the same ilk, but too many players are the same. But I just think Forest is excited. In addition to losing a good amount of players, I'm excited to be back in the Premier League, brother. 23 years. 80-something days being outside of the Premier League. That's the longest gap between a team and their Premier League, their last Premier League appearance and their first one. So them just excited to be back, and them know say them just want to go all out because they know that if they happen to suffer relegation, they're going to have hell to move on. Well, not really hell, but they have to go move on pretty much half of that squad that they reinvested to get. But overall, two teams that coming from a loss in match day one, so they will be desperate to rebound and get the first points on the board, and I think West Ham will take it. I hope Moyes starts. I agree with Devin. I hope Moyes starts Kamaka this time around, and hopefully he gets his goals, but I have West Ham winning 2-1.
And the two players that, well, one of them has been confirmed, and that's Remo Freuler from Atalanta.
Yeah.
I think they're on the cusp of signing Koyate as well. That was at Crystal Palace. They're going to sign on a free, but Jason just mentioned something key, and the thing is that most of these players that they have bought are players that are sellable. A lot of them are pretty young, so even if they get relegated, these are players that still can make a profit off. But as I mentioned, I think it was on the previous show or the show before, they needed the signings. It's not a case as if they're just spending because of spending. They needed it because they lost like 10 players, I believe, 10 starters as a matter of fact. So they needed them because some of them contract was out, and most of them were actual loans. So man like Ghana, Jet Spence, and all those guys, they were all loans. So yeah, they couldn't help but go out and spend the bucks. But I really want to see them still because I like Steve Cooper and I love to see these young English managers. So I'll see. The big one, the London derby, Chelsea against Tottenham at the Bridge. Conte looking to get one over his former employers, and when you look at the team that he has assembled right now, you could say that Tottenham is in a better place than Chelsea. I want to start with Jason on this one. Start.
All right, so I mean, history will be on Chelsea's side, having the last 32 meetings at home against Spurs. Chelsea have only lost one. Chelsea have only lost one, so history is definitely on their team. However, you would find that probably the momentum would more be with Spurs right now. Spurs, based on many persons, are favorites to finish in the top four above Chelsea. So they have a renewed team. Maybe they have a stronger 11. They probably arguably have the better coach in Antonio Conte. So Conte will be desperate to get one over his former employers. Now, I always say that the problem that Chelsea is yet to solve is the fact that they don't have a number 9, that goal scorer. In the entirety of 2022, they've only scored 34 goals. Tottenham by themselves has scored 51 in 2022. Tottenham front three alone has scored 34, the same amount as Chelsea. So overall, you can see where the problem will lie for Chelsea right now. So But in any case, it's a derby. You can't, form really goes out the window where that is concerned. But I predict the match to actually be a draw. So I will go 2-2 draw.
I'm going to say people in phone, Jason. Right, Kims, go ahead.
I was listening to Sterling's interview. They asked him, what was the reason why he decided to leave Man City. And he, paraphrasing, he basically said that same thing that we all were thinking, lack of game time, right? You're saying at this juncture of his career, not getting the game time that he wants, that he needs. He felt like no was the best time for the move, right? And going to Chelsea, I don't know the conversations they have with Tuchel, but I guess Tuchel can say, hey, you're in my plans, and you'll start as much as possible. And if we're being honest, Sterling's one of the best over there right now. Looking at this game, watch the Chelsea versus Everton, and again, I can't stress enough, it's only one game, right? But again, in one game you're playing against Everton, I expected more dominance, right? And even though they're still getting the team together, because I hear they want Aubameyang, I hear they want this person, they want De Jong or De Jong or whatever you pronounce it, him, the Barcelona brother there, him. They want him and they want somebody else, right? So, I don't see the same positivity, I don't see the same confidence that Tuchel had the season before when he talking about, teams going to be free to play against us, we're going to build this team that nobody wants to play against. Right now, it seems like everybody wants to play against
As long as Tuchel that Chelsea now do nothing, you will forever remember that quote.
Forever remember that. It looked like everybody want to play against Chelsea now. And again, when teams are building like this, where they're still trying to find their footing, now is the time where you want to play against them. Versus at Tottenham, will look like, hey, even though they're adding players, they still have their core together. And the guy with Demos are never good. That guy is playing out of his mind. trouble, man. But that guy is playing out of his mind right now. Obviously, Harry Kane never score, but we love the movement. I love the movement. I love the hold-up play. I love that him come deep with the ball and do some playmaking as well. So I'm looking at this, and there's no other way I can go than a Spurs win. So I'm going Spurs 3, Chelsea 1.
Whoa.
Yeah, man, Spurs look good for beat up Chelsea. Chelsea not finished top.
Whoa. Bro, that's a wild one, man. But I like
it is.
People.
Yeah, I actually think that this will be a snore fest. Actually, Tuchel is one of those defensive coaches. I don't think he's going to give the space to the front three. And the funny thing is that I think both these managers play the same formation, with the whole three at the back thing and the wingers, and for me it kind of cancel out unless they make tactical changes. Obviously, kind of cancel out each other in the gameplay. Sterling is going to be a major threat for Chelsea, obviously, and the front three for Spurs. But I just see them cancelling out each other. And then I look on the bench and I'm looking for game changers off the bench. And I guarantee you that if Tuchel needs a number 9, what I saw from Broja coming off the bench in that game, I think he offers a lot more to Chelsea than they think they have. Also, with Cucurella, when he came on, he looked amazing at left back as well. When he came on, so I'm seeing some game changers there off the bench. Gallagher, he had a decent little stint as well, and then on the bench for Spurs, I mean, I think they'll probably need to do it with the starting 11 that they have. I'm not sure what the status is on Richarlison right now. So I think they might have to rely on the starting 11 they have. So with all that said, I'm seeing a draw. I'm going for a 1-1 draw in a very boring game. Two coaches canceling out each other with the same formation.
So I have a question. Before you make Devin talk, boss. So is there any correlation between the 5 subs and why some of these players decide to go to loaded teams?
Yeah, Levon?
Anybody really? Because looking like a Bissouma. Looking like a Bissouma now, we're jumping a Spurs team, knowing say, hey, boy, this team is so stacked. Well, a 5 sub, so we can get some game time as well versus a 3 sub. Do you think that play any role at all on that?
I don't. All right, for Bissouma's sake, though, I don't think he's thinking along that line. I think
Definitely
Bissouma
not.
backs his talent and he believes that he can kick one of these guys out of that midfield. So I think he's looking at it from that standpoint. And he'll just probably buy this time and eventually might get a starting berth. But
Okay.
I think he plays a part for some,
Yep.
For example, I'd more say it plays a part for lone players, like players who are at a parent club and probably say, all right, since as there's a 5 sub rule, I might can get some minutes here, so I don't have to go on a loan to a lower league table team or anything of that sort. So I'm like Gallagher, even though 2K was saying from last season that we're going to keep him and blah blah blah, we know that his minutes is going to be limited. We know that for a fact. So I'm like him probably look on and say, all right, even though minutes might limit, I know some I get game time at Chelsea and Chelsea are my team, so yeah. But Evan, shoot.
So on week 1, these two teams had a win, and they were contrasting win. One Chelsea won 1-0.
Boring.
With a penalty, we might add. I think when the goal scorer came, say what a team can get penalty. I remember last week. Spurs won 4-1. But then I think Demo was saying he was falling asleep during that game. It was a boring game.
The Chelsea game.
Yeah, man. Chelsea had 63% possession, right? And then they managed to get like 15 shots on Everton goal, which
Evan,
I
the
think
game was boring, brother.
Yeah, only 6 on target. And in contrast, when I look at these were two bad teams they were playing against. Like Chelsea was playing against a bad Everton team, and the Spurs was playing against Saints. Saints ain't no great team. But interestingly, when I look at the possession that Spurs had, they had 58% possession, less than what Chelsea had against them, but they managed to get off 18 shots and they scored 4 goals. The history is saying that 7 out of the last 44 meetings, it's 7 out of the last 44 meetings. Spurs have won against this team, but I'm going with the current form, and it looked to me based on current form that Spurs is the better team, and they're playing better, even though it's just one game. And I'm going for them to have a 2-1 win on the road against Chelsea.
And now touch this game neither as a bet.
No, sir. I wouldn't even know where to go with goals or who to think that they will get a win though. I wouldn't bet on this game.
It's a leave alone game,
Yeah, man, leave alone, man. Leave alone outside the half stump.
And the final game of this match week, Liverpool.
Let me go quickly and then leave because I have to go to.
Yeah, man, shoot a shot. Liverpool, Palace.
Yeah, it's not much. With this, just look at the record. Liverpool have won 10. The last 8 against this team, they have won 10. 10. And not only they have won 10, 6 out of the 10, they were clean sheets. So for the bettors first, you can go with Liverpool racking up some goals on them too. And they always score heavy on this team. I see this game ending like a 3-0. And Liverpool will definitely not want to drop any points after dropping points last week. So, and plus they're at home on a Monday game. So I see a 3-0 could end up 4-0. And definitely my favorite striker will also score. Not Mo Salah.
Who's my favorite striker?
Trouble, man. Uruguayan.
All right.
Oh, Darwin, yeah, talk.
Yeah, the Uruguayan, man.
Uruguayan Andy Carroll.
Uruguayan will come there as a striker.
The Uruguayan Andy Carroll was.
All right.
Big up yourself, man.
Very good. All right.
Big up. All right, Kims. Just give me well,
man.
Yeah, because I know that this guy's going to talk like about his teams.
That's why you should have made me talk first so we can give the people the context, brother. Because what David said, definitely not going to happen.
You can get the floor for yourself. I not have much to say.
Yeah, go pick the wrong thing because you don't hear the context, but go on.
I want to see from Crystal Palace last week. I never see no more. I want to see from Liverpool last week. Listen, I tried to get Diaz in my FPL side because I think he's going to have tell a game tomorrow, but me already have Allison and Mo. Me have Allison and Mo.
Luis
You,
Diaz.
you can
Yeah.
get one more.
No man,
You
I
can
think I
choose
have a,
three.
you may have another player too. Me have Van Dyke as well. So no, me can't. If I move one of them, then I will lose points.
I'm already
Double team.
sacrificed points, boss.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
So we just say no. But I think Diaz is going to have a great game in this one. I think Liverpool
You
going
never
to
know,
win.
say make changes.
Boss,
Obi.
we not the FPL yet, boss. What wrong with you, man?
All
We
right.
are
We
The
give.
talking
man.
about man, now we have newcomers to it. I want to tell you,
So make
yo,
the
I have
man got the one game left.
four
finish up.
nil.
Oh, that you're saying. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
4-0. 4-0 pool.
Oh wow.
Go ahead, boss.
All right. So first of all, I want to take back something that I said at the start of the season. I remember that we clipped it and it in a big screen by myself. So I'm not gonna be shameless. See? I actually don't believe that Liverpool will win the league anymore
Oh boy.
after match week one. The thing is, no, I may have perfect reasons to take back my talk right now. Zin, like, I don't know who works some OB upon we, but we have players dropping left, right, and center, and injuries definitely killing us. I would want to be very confident going into this game against Crystal Palace, especially at Anfield. But no, we're on skin and bones for midfield. I think Navigator just came back. So we probably don't have to start James Milner in there with Henderson and Fabinho because Navigator has just returned. As soon as one come from the other 6 or 7 we're already out. Um, Here goes Joel Matip. So our best centre back is injured with a groin strain, and them come out and them say, "Oh, they're going to run a scan before the game or whatever." But we know Joel Matip make out a glass, and he might go probably be out for probably 2 or 3, 4 weeks. Yeah, so there will be no Joel Matip. Konate is already out, so there's no backup to Matip. So it's going to be Van Dijk and Joe Gomez, who is himself is coming back from injury, and obviously isn't matched up. So that definitely sure you see Liverpool are going to concede goals because he's going to be very much rusty and he hasn't played for a very long time. Even during the preseason, he get 1 or 2 games and he look very iffy. So Van Dijk and Joe Gomez is going to be there. And then the midfield is just going to be some pitchy patchy thing. And we saw the midfield get overrun by Fulham in the first game. And they have Thiago in there. And obviously Thiago injured himself. And he is out. So it's going to be very hard. The only shining light that I have for this game is because Nunes and Salah, when he came on in the second half, they look like they have a good link up going on. I mean the fluke assist where Nunes gives Salah, like them something they know for count as an assist. The man try control the ball, it bounces off him foot and Salah score. But anyway, whatever. And I thought they linked up well otherwise, and hopefully Harvey Elliott can get into the team and we can do the job. I don't think that it's going to be as easy a victory as people think. I think Liverpool are going to struggle even at home, and I think we're going to barely scrape through, and we're probably win it in the death. But we're going to go 2-1 Liverpool, and we're definitely going to concede. And Crystal Palace is probably going to dominate the game, and we're going to scrape through because of the magnificence of Mohamed Salah. So I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool at home. Just barely.
All right, so quick question before I move on to FPL. Since as we have been having a lot of injuries in midfield, seeing
And centre back. Like we're
well, but
down to
mainly
Joe
midfield,
Gomez.
but mainly midfield right now.
No, it's mainly we're down to
I know,
Gomez and
I
Van
know,
Dijk.
boss, I'm going to ask you a question in regards to midfield. That's why I'm putting it right there. So there are these two players. Okay. Um, let's just move on, Kim. So yeah, as I was mentioning to you earlier, I never knew that you actually moved players out of the FPL team.
No, I move the Leeds player. Him alone, I move.
You sure?
Yeah.
Why is he still showing there?
I don't know why I'm still a show you. Him can't still a show you, man.
He is.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, no. Nah, go the man
Yeah,
is like,
go. Oh, me I hear the question. We see.
All right. So the question that I had to ask was, between these two players, which one did you choose? Matthias Nunes from
Oh
Sport
Lord.
or
Our
or Ismail Benacer from AC Milan.
Alright, first of all, I don't know this Benicia person. And second of all, ever since we were linked with this Nunes guy, I don't get the hype. The youth is just another Curtis Jones, but with game time. The man
Yeah.
do nothing better than what Curtis Jones do. And as long as Curtis come back fit, then I don't really want no midfielder. But if him go stay injured throughout, then I'll take the Nunes guy just because I don't know the AC Milan dude.
All right, Kim, just check back your team and see if it changed. Because
No,
all
man,
right,
change, man. Me have Armstrong. You get team
well,
Armstrong from Southampton.
Armstrong?
You forget Hart? Yeah. I couldn't get nobody else with a little bit of money.
Why
You know
you
why
get Armstrong?
people are laughing below? Would they below?
Like you say, it's just one game week. What you mean? I'm telling you, this is not a sprint, you know, boss.
all right. So as I pointed out the other day,
You know what gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you exactly what gonna happen. It's when it reach like match game week 16 or 17, Kim's gonna say, boss, I never remember about FPL. I never
yeah,
remember to change
we
my
can't believe
side.
this no more, yeah, man.
Maybe busy. That's exactly what's going to happen. So we don't pay no mind.
But welcome the newcomers, man. There's been quite a lot, and I mean, we have more people playing the league this season than last season, so that's a good sign. So let me just write back over right now.
Pierre Bug competing for second and third place.
All right, so once again, two females at the top, and I don't think you guys can see it, so let me zoom in. That's good.
Yeah, that good.
All right, so Shanila, big up yourself as always. In terms of people that is on the show, there's the man himself right there in fifth spot, and his favorite number. Just look at that number right there.
Yeah, favorite number 69. Ah!
And there's Christoph in sixth position with 68. Maritza watch us every now and then. He's on 67. Morgan's up 66. I'm right there with 65.
Gotcha.
Stefano watch us sometime. He's there with 62. I believe this is Tyrese. Yeah, this is Tyrese right here. He's in 16th with 56. There's Free Taki right here.
Who is that?
Already.
How much points that?
55.
All right, don't worry yourself.
Yes, Fabian Francis with 50. Adrian Nicholson way down there. This man talks a lot, and look at that, 48 points.
Can't construct a proper level.
And here is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 newcomers. So that brings us 38 people. And big up Kish. Kish finally joined it. I actually convinced Kish to join FPL this season, and she got what? I think she got like either 69 or 67 points last week. So
yeah,
man.
Watch out, Dale Francis in.
Dale Francis just
click on Dale Francis side. Let me see him side.
A Pier City man.
Because you can only pick 3 city man. So let me see where I'm really going with. Let's see him side.
You know, this is invasion of privacy, boss. You can't look for the people.
It's not gonna show.
They may on the waiting list, that's why.
Yeah.
So it's gonna show tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you can see my team because I'm already in the league.
Yeah, man, we can see your team, Ken's team, and someone else.
Yeah.
Oh. Don't worry, Mr. Francis. We want to see your team because you see, every day come criticize this coach and that.
Wait. Where do?
Your team
that can't be my team. Who that's over there so beside
No man, remember that the new team is not going to show. The changes are not going to show.
Oh, so we are showing that for nobody no business about that. That was last week.
The boss changed it.
I sacrifice 4 points for my changes, boss. It ain't easy.
Yeah, man said that youth are still. Man see how they gone.
119?
Yeah, man, that's a man see him gone.
Oh, people get 100 points. Them use them triple captain early.
Them triple captain Alan?
Yeah.
Why people use them triple captain? You know one you get.
Yeah.
So why them use it in a match week 1?
Yeah, but then
if you're confident in a player against a team, then yeah, why not?
Yeah, because then all right, let's say you triple captain Haaland in a week 32, and then him not score.
Yeah, behind.
Yeah, so You just have to just time it perfectly. But so use my triple captain.
Green, the league name Sports Friends, man, but it's not the league you want to know it name, man. You want to know the code. So let me just go ahead and find.
Me alone now have Haaland in my team. Like everybody have Haaland.
What you mean, brother?
As I'm not even remember, I can't still. No, we can't change again.
No, you can't make the picks again.
Can't put Ronaldo in the side because Ronaldo find the net tomorrow.
All right, so Owen Green, here's the code.
You get more money than everybody else.
Rich.
This man want Ronaldo, Haaland, everybody.
I think I sacrificed what 4 points as well, innit?
You did?
Yeah, man, brother, I well want Kulusevski no matter what. I don't know if I got him last week, so I had to have him because that man is going to be in my side until season finish, until he drop off.
Yeah, I say. That's what. I don't want to excuse I'm a beat to say, oh, I lose 4 points. I saw it.
As the demon just say all again, brother. Make sure you after match week 16 when you say.
Get more them thing after a while, but now make sure we tune in.
Guess what? You won't forget this, bro. You know why? We're going to talk about it every week once we have
yeah, man, we can't make gonna beat me at time, no sir.
Wait, so Kim's first time in a FPL list?
No, in a
man, he has played before, but it's his first time really beat in a league at the start.
Okay.
I think he joined last season, but he joined late.
I'm still beat up some man.
No, I see why the excitement, like after game week was the inexperience at tell. So.
I'll tell you. But quickly, that's 5 picks off the top. When I put on adjustment because I just bet now get
City.
I give them.
City.
So
me and Kim's are combining, because I can't remember.
Like first I play FPL.
What?
Deal.
There's the first thing I play. Oh. But all you have to do is use up boss. A simple thing. You have $100 million.
You know if it already, man. Yeah, man, same pick Ivan Tony for this weekend, man.
Oh.
Well, him definitely gonna get points against that short youth. So good pick.
All right. So Wolves to win.
City to win.
Too cheap.
Southampton to win.
That not sure, boss. That definitely not sure.
No, not sure.
City sure, that better.
Not even that sure. It's likely, but not sure.
Well, like, that is the truth what Kim just said. My see, it's when you're betting nothing.
We just bet what likely for. Like, I can't see Leeds beat Southampton. I can't see. Leeds love foul. And Ward-Prowse are going to get the penalty them around the 18-yard box and all them things.
See, Tyree same need the tips, my youth. I want to boss look at the people in.
All right, so Tyree, see you. So Southampton to win. All right. If you don't want to go Southampton to win, you can go both teams to score. Pick whatever you want. But me like Southampton to win.
I prefer that person there.
I like Newcastle. What am I talking about Newcastle? I like Wolves to win. Right? So that's a 2. I like Aston and Leicester, both teams to score. That's a 3. If you just want to win some money, then you can go Man City and go Haaland to score. And then for United game, Brentford over 0.5. Because Brentford must score another game. Those are 5 picks. Can give you $20,000 for the weekend.
All right, so Terry, see how we're going. If you want to go in other leagues tomorrow, they can just work with them teams. I just have flip them off at top of my head as I remember them. So, you can pick Benfica and Sporting to win tomorrow. 2 winners that easy 1-3. Inter Milan to beat Lecce. AC Milan at home to beat Udinese. Barca at home to beat Vallecano. One of those teams are playing, so yeah, you can go with them. They registered the 4 players today, so they're good. Off the top of my head,
Lewandowski to score.
Yeah, off the top of my head, let me see. Yeah, man, they are 19 safe, man. Well safe. Not empty as long as they use them, man. They're good. But yeah, off the top of my head, I can give you those and combined with the rest of the leagues. And I think nothing. PSG is playing tomorrow, so if you need another goal scorer, Neymar to score at any time. $60, good odds. Um, what else is going on? Bundesliga just the same. Leverkusen is playing. You can go for them GG because they're going to score and they're going to concede. So those are things that they can use.
We'll leave money there to win tomorrow. Anybody want to have at least 50,000 and win 50,000? Then listen, on our ramp with life. Stop the woman them on the money and bet on the thing them boss.
Yeah,
Use
man.
$1,000. Use $1,000, you get 50 odds, like 50 odds, and you get 50,000 then you can do maths. Yeah, they're about. You get
Yeah, man, but
$50,000.
right now I'm still hurting though. I'm just give the people a glimpse of the art take that we go through at times, Kems.
Man say multiple are single.
Multiple, boss. Multiple.
Not even know the man at talk about.
Yeah, man, you wanna know, man.
I mean, multiple teams, boss.
I nearly tell the man single because they never watch.
All right, so watch out now. I did this earlier on today, right? Are you guys seeing it clearly?
You
Yeah.
have to zoom it in.
It's zoomed in, man. All right, so
Yeah.
look at that.
Win. Be a win.
Look there, right?
Be
Just
a
look at
win.
these ads right here. Look at these ads. Let me start back. $55, $95, $22, $1.50, $1.40, $1.96, $2.42, and then this crosses team busman ticket.
Mm.
Oh, who that?
Which one?
Oh, the Wi-Fi password, bro. Why? Why you not pick that team, the boss?
No, man. All right, so here what happened. Last weekend they were leading 3-0. They ended up decided to come back and draw 3 with them. I said, no, not this weekend again. They can't do the same thing again. They were leading this team again 3-0 at halftime. Last week I had the same thing now. Halftime 3-0. This week again 3-0 at halftime. So I said, all right, buy them for win the second half.
Mm-hmm.
The man, they make the game come down 3-0 again, brother. And people want to get them some match fixing the real.
But you not learn, boss. The man them do it last week and you do it again. Your fault.
Molly need a team to do something one time. Nah, bet on them again. Nope.
But
You
bro,
see the people in ball for life in the mornings, bro.
You only can't go live in the morning before the game start. The betting sound good.
Tell Levan to do a watch along with Chelsea and Spurs, and that thing must do.
oh, that's I don't want that.
Bro, that game there go boring. You have to do that for a hot game.
All right, now we can't buy the boredom because I need some sleep.
You can. What time? The first game starts 7:30.
6:30 my time.
6:30 your time.
Way too early for me.
Yeah. Nah, I bet for Aston Villa, dog. Them shaky. Like Coutinho for assist though. I like Coutinho for assist tomorrow.
Wait, Aston Villa play Everton tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning.
But think both of them manager they under some pressure, you know? Both of them, Gerrard and Lampard.
Yeah. Both of them under pressure.
I agree.
So both need 3 points. So Gerrard, remember, Gerrard made big decision to drop the top 6 defender. Take away captaincy from him and drop him. You can't do them something they and expect for seeing the good graces of the Aston Villa fans, the Mings committee and all of them something. I think they're serious offense. So right now you need a W. You know, you start Leon Bailey, start Danny Ings. When name they come off of the bench, I name Watkins. You know, you have Watkins on the bench, Coutinho start. And you can't brush aside upcoming team, Bournemouth running off of the field, drop team. So you need a win tomorrow.
All right. Any final words from you guys?
Riley!
You know what? As games do that. Let me just say this fast and just stop. Zine? Guys, please go out to Sabina Park and support the West Indies. When you're there at Jamaica, you have a great opportunity We have a great opportunity to go watch some superstars play cricket. I will not really talk about the West Indies, man. But you have Kane Williams, one of the greatest of all time, and all. We don't go support the thing, no. We don't know what the ticket prices are,
But
but you
no,
don't
I
go
said,
and support the thing.
brother,
Zin?
nobody
And
not
the,
spending good money
if
for that.
boss, remember done my minute, no? If the West Indies guys now feel the love, brother, you can't expect them to perform. Sure, listen, sure, they're making some stupid decisions because the man them needed to win this game today. They 1-0 down. They needed to win this game, and the man them arrest them key players. No Achilles, no Alzar Joseph. So me really want to see if the man them who don't play today when they must win I go play in the last one where them lose the series. So it's just not making any sense. You know, must play his best team if you want to win a series. Anyway, them are the things backward. All I'm saying is go and support the guys. I know what it's like, when you have people behind you and support you, you go perform. And listen, remember, Uno did ask for this. Uno run Pollard out of town. Uno say Pollard no good. Uno do all of this stuff and look at that. Puran is here him can't scratch him age and him cannot get a win under him belt. So this is the one. Run with Bravo, run with the whole of them, run with Pollard, and this is what is the what this is called? Karma. This is what they get for running away the great captain of the West Indies white ball team. But what? I'm here for it. I'll watch, I'll still support, and I'll still rally. And if I was in Jamaica right now, I'd be at all of the games. So go support and rally. That's all I have to say.
People don't support none here, man. When I support losers. Anyways, I'll follow me, man. I'm not going to follow the thing, man. But Kims,
Uh, I'm not really have not much to say, but Serena Cole, unfortunately, going back to high school. I do not know why, but I guess that's her decision. So she's going back to Edwin Allen. Kerika Hill went pro. It's so funny when a coach come out and say, "Oh yes, this athlete is not going pro." She has some more things to work on to get better. And then a day later, the said athlete went pro without the coach's knowledge, right? So I like how the athletes are taking control of their destiny. Listen, you can go back a high deal and do what? You get in a pro contract, you get the opportunity to change the life of your whole family, right? There's a running joke that, the family all get BMW X6s, right? So listen, you come out, you come from one of those backgrounds, and you have the opportunity to, get some generational wealth, get some money, and just change the lifestyle of your family. Go back to high school, go do it. Right? So congrats to Kerika Hill. Obviously, we know that the twins already went pro. And Serena Cole obviously going back, and Brennan Liston going to LSU. So again, a lot of news on the women. I don't hear nothing about the men as usual. Nothing new. Hopefully, hoping for a great weekend for the betting and for my FPL team. Top five is not good for me. Top one is where it's at. All right, so I'm gunning for that. I'm gunning for that first place, because I only liked. No, I'm gonna say that. Why? But I want to be number one. All right, I want to be number one. So, yeah, that's it.
Oh, Levan, don't think that. I just ask you guys on the show and everybody in the comment section. This are the last thing. I have I have two more games in my Saturday league. May hold on to fourth spot right now, and fifth spot I really a run with Zine. So I need no help and no support. I don't know if you believe in a prayer and thing, but you have a little Indian team really a run with for sport place, and obviously at the top four go through to the knockout. I can't play because of the whole COVID thing. I'm still kind of mess up, Zine. So may I ask please, just the team name is Kingsmen. Wanna just pray for make it to the knockout stages, and who knows, you might see me up on the TV in the knockout rounds. You know what I mean? So just remember my team in your prayers if you believe in our prayers in sports. All right, cool.
all right, so two things. The two guys your team, they're still at the top. Gale and the other one.
Yeah, Gale is there in wickets. Him gone 20 wickets for the season right now. The man is an excellent cricketer. but he missed a couple games, and so him fall down in the runs, and him ranked third in the whole of New York, in terms of all round cricket.
Okay.
The other guy dropped down. Him not really make no run. That's
Sucks.
it.
But
Yeah, so
mhm.
you saw someone on the TV, man. No run yourself.
So something that Kim just mentioned about FPL. I have no worries in a boss. You can jump out in top five, top one, because that's exactly what you'll do in the race that will run next month. You're going to get out of the blocks fast, and then you're just going to fall right down.
Get out of the blocks first. Nobody can catch me.
No, man, you are going to beat me at the blocks. You're short, fam. You're going to.
Wow.
I'm going to run you down.
You're not much taller than me, boss.
Come on, I'm way taller than you.
Out,
You're 5'7", and I'm 5'10".
you 5'10".
I can show my ID right now.
Yeah, I
God
did.
have mercy.
For my driver's license, say me a 6'1", boss. That number for
Come on. Your driver's license can say you're
No, it
6'1".
does. You tell them your height for your driver's license. Them not measure you.
Exactly.
Tell them your height.
Those people are thinking wrong.
Somebody them just say age or height, date of birth,
Yep. I understand them. Say I'm 6'1". Let's say, all right.
even the color of your eye.
Blue.
But say no more, boss, because I know for a fact that I'm going to beat you and I'm going to put it to shame.
All right, boss. Say no more.
But big up to everybody, man, and keep on supporting us and keep the movement going. Ensure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. Get a subscription up. We're at what 3,230 the last time I checked. So let's
Big.
keep it going, man. Let's get it up there. We just need the football base to grow. The chat people has done their part. Now it's the time for the football people to do the same. And also, there'll be the Males podcast on Sunday. Two big interview lined up back to back on Sunday. So you're going to get a double dose. So look forward to that, guys. It'll be interesting with two people of prominence that you guys would love to hear their story, man. So ensure that you tune into the Males podcast this Sunday. First,
Upcoming Prime Minister going to change Jamaica.
yes, and a big realtor. So the first interview will be at 7 p.m. Jamaica time, 8 Eastern Standard, and the next one will be at 8:15 Jamaica time, 9:15 EST. So guys, ensure that you tune into that.
And
Big up.
don't worry, guys, it's not me. I'm not the guest. It's not me.
But big up to them, and big up yourself, Kims. Big up yourself, Dima. Big up to Devin also.
Yeah,
Big
man,
up
big up.
to Jason who jumped in for a big up the Shakes as well, and big up to the man behind the scenes that show makes it possible. And again, guys, remember to support our sponsor, Let's Care Medical, Let's Care Optical. Visit them at their 3 branches in Mandeville, Santa Cruz, and Montego Bay. Until we see again, enjoy the rest of your night, guys. And remember, like up the stream. And as always, I'm going to end the stream by playing the ad from our sponsor.